today because Daddy's going to the LCV EV show. Yeah. So I have to drop you off on time. I also have to drop you off on time anyway. And welcome to the Millbrook Proving Grounds, home of the LCV event. Something tells me I'm unlikely to find any new Nissan Leafs here. It might be raining, but looks like it's brightened up, at least for a little while, so let's have a look outside. I love events like this. It's like I'm in heaven. Where's the driver go? I wonder if they've sold any since last year. To my father. That looks like fun. I have not got a clue. I kind of hope that's not the future of driverless cars. I don't ride motorbikes, but if I did, I would want it to look like that. So my plan today is to have a bit of a look around and just sort of try and get a feel for how much progress has been made or not, because this is basically more of an industry event, not really for consumers. So what you tend to get here is stuff that's a little bit more cutting edge or a little bit more sort of boring, fast charge manufacturers, that kind of thing, but you know, still important. Take these Sunamp guys, for example. Last year their product looked, you know, a little bit on the homemade side. This year seems to actually look like a product.
I think the autonomous focus is increasing every year.
Yeah, it's kind of become a bit of a future of vehicles event, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and it's the kind of the future is here now kind of event. Yeah. And I think the low emissions are a kind of byproduct almost, and it's much more popular to talk about cars that drive themselves and lorries that will drive in a convoy and things like that.
And it's those advanced driver features that your equipment is basically enabling, isn't it? Because
yeah, exactly. So you could never deliver a car without verifying to a much higher degree of accuracy. And that's what these systems will do. So the car will deliver a system that works to say 50 centimetres accuracy, but they validated it at 1 centimetre accuracy, and they can say it's always within 50 centimetres of the true location. What we have is an inertial navigation system, so it uses GPS plus inertial sensors. The blending of the two means that you can get a very high data output rate, which gives you a position in the Earth global coordinate frame, and that allows you to effectively navigate through latitude, longitude and heading, pitch and roll, and verify your onboard camera, radar, LiDAR system, and ship a car or ship a component to a car manufacturer with the confidence that it will be safe for consumption in a production vehicle.
That was interesting. Lots of fun stuff going on with autonomy by the sounds of things around here. That seems to be the shift. I think I'm sort of getting the impression that EVs are almost the accepted future of cars now, and it's become a little bit more, how are we going to make them drive themselves? What is that? That looks like fun. This is so exciting. I'm going to have a go. Ready to be shot out of a cannon. Oh, fantastic. What's the battery size on this thing?
It's only 20 kilowatt hours.
Really?
So it's a very small battery. It was originally built as a race car back 7 years ago, back in 2010. Before Formula E was around, we built this as a race car to demonstrate what an electric race car series could look like. We built the batteries in this a few years back, so they're a little bit lower capacity, but no lower power.
Yes, well, power is what you're looking for with a race car, isn't it?
Absolutely. So this would have given you 10 minutes of race time.
Right.
As a race car driver when the batteries were new and fully charged. So unfortunately today, batteries are not new, and it's very hard to get them fully charged at the moment with so many people wanting trips. So still a race car.
Hooray! Oh yes, it is, isn't it?
If we didn't have a slow twist in the way.
That is good fun. I want one.
Very good fun.
So where does this battery system, where is it going for you as a business?
We do a lot of consultancy, a lot of design work, so we will take someone's concept when they're making their prototype and we will help them out come to a solution that works for them, and we'll build the first prototype solutions, and then when they come to mass production, if they get to mass production, we'll work with their supply chain to find a manufacturer who can build high volume batteries.
Right.
So we don't get involved with high volume manufacture,
No.
but we will do all the R&D and development and build 10 off, 20 off prototype batteries.
That thing was awesome. Basically like some kind of a roller coaster. Race cars are enormously good fun. I definitely see the point, and I love the fact that EVs these days have moved beyond that sort of geeky, weird looking, oh it's not supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be good for you, into the sort of firm ground of yes, let's have fun. Speaking of having fun, just remind me, have I already mentioned the cost of hydrogen? So this is a Kia Soul EV. You are a software company, is that correct?
Yeah, that's our game. Is the idea is that we can slot in our tech onto any car, and that we're going to take in all the information from the sensors and output where the car should go. So we're primarily a software company. We don't really care about the hardware so much, as long as it sort of works and gives us gives us information.
How's it going? Can it drive itself yet?
Well, it can drive itself in a very controlled environment in Millbrook. And the idea is that by 2019 we're going to be on the streets of London and properly going, like having self-driving cars. But again, that'll be in a specified environment.
How close are you? I know it's quite a challenge.
I think we're still quite a way away from being able to just stick this in any street in the world and have it know exactly what to do, but it's kind of we're kind of putting together the different parts, the different modules of what perception of the world and planning. And
what sort of sensors do you typically have then? That your software runs off. Do you use LiDAR or is it radar, vision?
In the front there we've got 2 cameras, so we use that for stereo, working out depth and field and stuff. And there on top we've got our LiDAR.
They've got a lot smaller.
Yeah.
That's a LiDAR detector?
Yes.
I remember there were great big sort of spinning radar things, a la Google.
Yeah, I think it's such a huge growth industry, LiDAR. It's kind of like every year or every month, I suppose, you're seeing cheaper and smaller ones with more lasers. So
ultimately, do you think LiDAR is going to be one of the key sensors, or do you think combining radar and cameras and ultrasound would be sufficient?
Humans can drive just using a couple of cameras that are pretty close together, so I think that's kind of the ultimate goal, to have software good enough that it only needs cameras, and I think kind of LiDAR is probably a good backup, because it's very good at sort of detecting ground truth. Like if something's in front of the car, the LiDAR will definitely tell you exactly how far away it is.
Fantastic, very interesting. I wish you the best of luck. Cheers.
It is.
I think it's time to check out inside. You had to go on the Twizy. Good fun?
Yeah. Everyone complains about the ride in it.
I think the ride's great. It's a bit sort of go-kart-ish, but that's fun.
I drive a Mini, so...
Well, there you go. Kind of same sort of thing. This is Ross. He's a subscriber.
Yeah, I'm a subscriber.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, definitely a subscriber.
And just bumped into him and he bought me a coffee, so now he's on the vlog.
I tried to buy you a coffee.
Oh yeah, no, actually, it was free. It was free in the sort of press room, so the intention was there, though.
Yeah, I did try.
And it's time for me to head home and see Jasper and Gigi, who picked him up from school today. Thank you very much. You are the reason why I've been able to have so much fun here at LCV. Okay, awesome. Well, that was really good fun, actually. Really enjoyed it. It was a bit different this year. There were far less manufacturers trying to prove that EVs were viable. It was much more of a kind of, you know, there was no Nissan, there was no Tesla. Toyota was there, of course, but that's because they still have to prove that fuel cells are actually realistic, something they have been monumentally failing to do forever. There was also quite a strong focus this year, I thought, on autonomous vehicles, autonomous driving, which kind of went hand in hand with the EV side of things, as it generally does, but I did think that was quite interesting. And then you had the sort of usual crop of rather smaller businesses that tend to be part of the prototyping and development stages of electric vehicles for larger automakers. So generally speaking, it was a very interesting event, and it's interesting to watch how events like this change over time as the needs of the actual business community shift. Although I've got to say, generally speaking, I do prefer the more consumer orientated ones because I just think they're a little bit more fun. Anyway, I'm going to go in, say hello to Jasper and Gigi, and just generally chill out for the remainder of this evening. So I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye.
I just need 3 of them here today so that I can have 2 on charge while I drive each one.
Yes, I suppose that is quite the limit, isn't it?
Given that you flatten it in half an hour.
Yeah.
Well, flatten it in 20 minutes, really.
And I suppose it wouldn't even matter if you could quick charge it, because I'm guessing they probably don't have the spare power here.